Let's, for example, go to Chorus Drive. So right now we are in a preset mode, and you can see that right there, it says preset. That's the bigger one, and stomp is the smaller word. But if you press this, it'll take you into stomp mode. So now what stomp mode is that all the sounds we're using, pretend that one button is one pedal. Whereas in the preset, this button right here could be 3 pedals. This button right here could be 2 different pedals. This button right here could be 2 other different pedals. So the preset mode, they also call it a snapshot mode. And that's why you have a picture of a camera. So the snapshot mode is multiple pedals all at once. And then the stomp mode is 1 button equals 1 pedal or 1 sound. So if we go back to the Chorus Drives snapshot or preset and we hit the stomp, whatever buttons come up. So right now the buttons that are on are the chorus, the drive, the boost, and the cloud. So that means that that one snapshot was using 4 different sounds. And in stomp mode, you can turn the boost off if you wanted to, or you can keep it on and then you could turn the drive off and, things of that sort. It really is user preference. I prefer the preset mode because these are all well thought out beforehand on like what types of sounds you might use for a worship. But if you wanted to use if you wanted to customize all these sounds and blend them like all on your own, then that's an absolutely another way that you could do that too. Let's see. Let's go to the worship tutorials. So this is the matchless setting. Let's go to swells, for example, and we'll go into the stomp mode. So in swells, it has basically all the delays on, all 3 of the delays on. It has a plate reverb and a dynamic hall big reverb. So, if you in the middle of worship set really didn't like the big reverb and you just wanted to do the delays on that setting, you could click that off and then click it back on, and then you're back in preset mode for doing the swells again. Again, the tap tempos are all here. This right here is the volume pedal. Make sure that it's always on expression 2. Expression 1, I didn't really set it to anything, but expression 2 equals the volume pedal. So 100% means that we're at full volume. And then as we go down, we go all the way down. I noticed that sometimes when we're up here and then you go down there, during a worship set, it doesn't fully go down to 0%. Sometimes when I hit the volume pedal down, it'll be at 2%, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that things are broken or something like that. Let me show you real quick on just how to tinker with different sounds. So back to this knob again. So basically anything that's green right there means that it's a delay pedal. Anything that's an orange is a reverb. This wave symbol right here, that's a overdrive or a distortion. And these are basically your amps and your IRs right here. I wouldn't go about messing with those because those are all pretty well thought out and, all in a specific order for it to sound good. But what you can do is mess with individual settings. So say, for example, this one, this, say for example, this delay sound right here, you wanted to make sure that it was a little bit louder. So what you would do is take the mix all the way up. You could increase the feedback. You could also even change the time. So this one is a dotted eighth, but you could also do, or sorry, this one is just an eighth delay, but you could switch it over to a dotted eighth delay, which is basically what half of worship delay songs are. And you can scroll through different pages. So you have different options for how much trails, the level, so the loudness. Like you have all these different options. And once you mess with all these things to your liking, you hit save right here, click save. And then if you hit save right there, it'll save all the settings for the whole preset. For this, I'm gonna just cancel it. If you wanted to change like a reverb sound, you would use this to toggle over to that sound and then mess with the delays, the mixes, levels, and you set it to however you like, save, and then hit this button here, the green save button. And that's how you can go about customizing each sound to your liking if you really wanted to. But honestly, I think that there's no need to do that because David Hislop and Worship Tutorials, their presets are, I like them. Just as a summary though, like I think David Hislop's settings, they're more reverby and delay like. So, you know, that's just his style of worship. Whereas Worship Tutorials is definitely more, it's not as wet. So less reverb, less delay, more focus on like the overdrive sound. So I would just kind of go about determining what you like there. So, and what the song needs basically. Oh, in the back, you'll always plug your guitar in with the label in the back that says guitar in. That's obvious. But if you wanted to connect it to the XLR at church, there's XLR out, left and right, and then the left has a parenthesis that says mono. So what mono means is that there's only going to be one XLR out, but all these settings were designed to be run in stereo. So what in stereo means is that the XLR has to be plugged into both the left and right. Even if the sound was only going to come out of the left, still plug in the right because everything will sound cleaner and better. Don't just plug into left and then don't plug anything into right. Always make sure you have two XLRs plugged in. Let's see. This is obviously the volume for how much comes out of the pedal. So I always like to put it around noon, just because to me that's just the most like intuitive, and it gives me room when like the sound says, hey, you need to turn it down, then you have some room to go down. They say you need to be louder, then you have some room to go up. So I always like to keep it at noon. There's a headphone jack back here, so if you want to play quietly in your room without an amp, then that's what this phone jack is for. That's what that is. Other than that, that should be a pretty good place to start. I updated the firmware here, so it's that's nothing to worry about. There is a cable that you can download. Sorry, there is a cable that I can basically just give to you guys. But if on your laptop you wanted to download an app to go more into the customization of something, then it's called HX Edit. That's the name of the app that you would just find at the App Store, and that you could plug this thing into your laptop and You can update software on here. You can move things around on the computer, which is probably easier than like pushing all these buttons. So that's another thing to think about. I think that this was a really great purchase. I think that this opens up an opportunity for just like so many cool sounds. And yeah, if you have any questions, then just text me, ask me. Yeah, and that should be it. Thanks, guys.